want to give a warm Winnipeg welcome to Onna Lou. And though you are so internationally known, I am so happy to know that Winnipeg is your home. So my first question to you, Onna Lou, is give us a little bit on your history and how Winnipeg became your landing place, I guess, so to speak.
Well, we were living in the United States at the moment because I went to college there, and my husband did too. And we wanted to try living elsewhere. Argentina has been in a constant crisis since, like, my whole life. And being an artist particularly is very hard. So we wanted to try somewhere else. And we kept meeting people who had lived in Canada or who were living in Canada or who live in Canada, and kept hearing these wonderful things. And my husband has a cousin here in Winnipeg. So suddenly, like, everything aligned, and we felt like it was worth the shot. And we came 5 years ago, and we love it. Like, if anything, like, I've been falling in love with it. Like, for my husband was like love at first sight. I think, like, the day we landed, like, his eyes were like shiny and open. I was a little bit more skeptical. It took a while for me, but I love it every day more.
Oh, and so let's talk about your time in the States. A graduate from Berkeley, and wow, I mean, everybody that knows music has heard of Berkeley. How was that whole experience for you, Onna Lou? And yeah, I mean, you get pretty immersed, don't you, in music?
Oh, yes. I don't know. I don't know about other places, but I think it must be like the most immersive musical experience you can have. Just the campus, having so many musicians together, and then like such an amazing offer of classes. You know, you can learn music from all over the world with teachers that are experts in their fields, who are active recording musicians, and just meeting musicians from all over the world and absorbing about their music, their culture, and getting to create all the time. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. When I was in Argentina, I studied classical composition and it was such a different experience. You know, it was like a lot of studying by myself, and it was beautiful. I learned so much, but I think to become the artist I am today, Berkeley was irreplaceable, a priceless experience.
So commenting on that, when you're talking about Berkeley and being around so many musicians and like-minded people like yourself, but you said music from all around the world, I think now this has given you the opportunity to, how we say, stick to your guns, but you know, your Latin music and your voice and the stories you tell are from the heart. We may not always understand it because it's not in English, but the language of music is universal. And I think now more than ever, we need to be exposed to more different types of music from other cultures.
Yep, I think it's a fascinating moment in history that we're living with social media and this reach we can have. And I think, like, I'm a bit of an idealist and a pathological optimist. But I think, like, the way to get over and evolve out of discrimination, racial discrimination, religious, cultural, like, and building a world together is getting to know. Like, I don't know what I've heard it, but it's much harder to hate someone you know. When you don't know something, it's easier to judge and to dismiss and to blame or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you connect with this aspect, which music communicates this like no other art almost, when we connect to the things that makes us all the same, that we all share. You know, music talks about human experience, emotion, those things that transcend completely culture or religion or sexual identity. So I think it's a very promising what music can do.
Well,
in this era.
Yeah, well, it certainly is a gift. And let's talk about you know, your transition from Argentina, and then you went to the States, I know, but then from to here now in Winnipeg and having a life, how different would it be if you had not left Argentina? Where would you be now?
Oh, that's such a great question. Thank you. On one side, when you ask me that, I think, okay, I would be close to my family and friends who I miss so much. It's so hard for me to live far away. But artistically, like since I moved here, I've been able to make a living with my music through performing, through composing, through teaching music. And that's simply like, maybe someone does it in Argentina, but it's really hard. And I am from Buenos Aires, which is a city that is boiling with art, but still like, there is not like the space for a musician to have a good quality of life and make a living when you are a developing artist like myself. So I'm guessing I would be very happy, close to my family and friends, but also maybe more frustrated artistically, maybe not being able to do all I want to do with my art.
Yes, and now, wow, no one could predict what we are living in now for year 2. How have you coped, you and your husband, through all of this, you know, pandemic, COVID, isolation, virtual, no live performing?
Well, it's been challenging, not being able to visit Argentina. I try to go every 6 months. Now it's been, of course, over a year. But we've both had work, like we're all working, so we haven't felt need, you know, and there's been like great programs to support arts and to support people through this, like in this country, which I am very grateful for. So it's been a challenge, but technology, as I mentioned in my song, is great as long as we don't forget to create real connections, we don't stay on the surface. But through technology, I've been able to still be close and share all these challenging times with my family and friends, and also with my friends here.
Yeah, no, it's I know no one's written a book about it that says this is what you have. This is what you have to do.
This is so crazy. Who could have imagined we would be in this position? I mean, some people did, but we didn't listen to them.
Well, and case in point, though, a lot of musicians have taken this time and opportunity to write new material, to be inspired in different ways. And congratulations on your beautiful single. I will let you say the title.
Okay.
Practice.
It's called Bailar Diados, which means dance in couples or dance in twos, like dance with someone else. And do you want me to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, of course, today it means so much in the literal sense, right? Like we miss, like, for example, I used to dance tango here in Winnipeg with the tango community, beautiful tango community here in Winnipeg, and I'm missing that a lot. And we're all missing like actual human contact, right? But in the context of a song, it's also kind of a metaphor of building life with someone else. And I wrote this song actually around 5 years ago, and thinking about how, you know, sometimes we are culturally pushed to be like over-focused on ourselves, our plans, success, work, our inner peace, our organization, our routine, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote these songs thinking how real happiness is not, like, all that is good, it's important, it makes our life, our everyday life enjoyable. But if you don't have someone to share it with, if you're not building your life, sharing your life with other people or someone else or others, it's not enough, right? Having these individual things, individualism in the end, is not enough.
No, and it's so beautiful. And I will tease everybody with a short clip, but a lot of scenes from Winnipeg, and I did recognize a lot of the dancers that you had So it was just like,
you did.
oh my goodness, like, you know, here you were, and it's just like this hidden gem. And no, it's a beautiful little video, and it just brought back so many memories of, you know, those warm summer nights when they would have the tango out at the Forks and everybody would be dancing. And, you know, we can only wish, and you know, we do have hope that yes, one day we will return to that, but I think it'll feel much different. I think.
Yes. Yes, it's going to be a readjustment for sure. But yes, I think, or I hope with all my heart that we'll get that back.
Yes.
And that freedom that we enjoyed of
Oh.
getting together, holding each other, kissing each other, traveling through the world
know.
whenever we wanted. It was amazing. And I think we'll enjoy it more because we
Yes.
understand better how blessed we are to have that. And yes, we just have to wait.
Oh yes,
It's
I know, and be patient.
act together, right? Pandemic showed us that how connected we are, how the whole world is
Yes.
connected.
And
Something
how
we
easy.
had such a hard time understanding. Now it's more evident.
No. And if we kind of, if I can go back to people in your life that influenced you for your music, you know, I just want to touch on, you have worked with world-renowned artists and Latin Grammy winners. And it's pretty amazing, Onna Lou. I mean, it definitely obviously shows in your music, but Rosanna was one that individual.
It's just amazing. And she was a huge influence, like when her very, very big album, she released that. I was 13, 14 years old, and I listened to that album so much. And I had this friend who we loved to sing together, and we would just walk through the streets in Buenos Aires, singing out loud all her songs. And at that point, I didn't know I wanted to be a musician, or much less a songwriter or an artist. But that, no doubt, that made a deep mark on how I write songs and how it gave me a channel, a way to, an outlet for all these emotions, these feelings, and yeah, and me, thanks, that was in Berkeley that happened. She went for a talk there, and I got to meet her, and then she was doing some shows, like a US tour, and she's the most generous, amazing woman. And she started like inviting some of the students she was meeting to perform with her. And she was like, many artists would go like, okay, yeah, come, maybe do some background vocals there or whatever. She was like, no. She invited me to her New York show to sing in a duo with her. And she made me choose the song, whatever song I wanted. So I got to choose my favorite song from her. Like, who does that?
Oh my goodness. Like that
Yeah.
must have been like priceless.
Priceless, yeah, completely priceless. And it's a lot for someone who is finding their way in the industry. It's very inspiring to meet someone who's made it, who has created such beautiful music, who had such an impact on so many people, and meet them and see they are great people. It encouraged me to follow on this path.
And no doubt, I think you too, Onna Lou, would do that to any young woman
Yes.
sitting in the audience for your concert or whatever. Yes,
Okay.
no.
Yes, hopefully. I hope someone wants to, and of course I'll invite them.
Well, I want to ask you though if you could play a song for us. And
Sure.
and before we go too, so you have your new single out, and the new album is going to be coming out, correct? May 28th?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
So-
going to be releasing another single on April 30th, Amor Crónico, Chronic Love. That's the title. And then by the May 28th, I will be releasing the album.
And the
So I am
album is called
Super excited. Diamante.
Diamante.
So,
Beautiful.
Yes, that's the title of the album. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's been 5 years since I released music. I've been composing, playing like crazy live and stuff, but I haven't been releasing music. So getting this music out again, it's very important to me. And And it helps me keep the energy and the and the patience and the optimism about everything going.
Yes, always creating. Well, we can't wait to hear your song. Congratulations, Onna Lou.
Do you want me to play Bailar Diados or another song, or the next release, or what would you like?
Maybe the next release.
Okay. Let's do that. Does this sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Otra vez una sonrisa amarga y este temblor en los huesos de saber que la enfermedad es igual al remedio. Solo tenerte, mi amor, me hace efecto que adicción irremediable. No sé vivir sin lo que me das, esto es incurable. Aunque sea mi amor, es bien nuestro este dolor. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. Necesito una gota más de eso que me das. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. No nos vamos a curar, fuego hasta el final. Amor crónico, mi amor crónico. Vamos juntos haciendo tormentas, cayendo al vacío, abrazados en nuestro propio precipicio de lo no perdonado. Vivimos con el corazón sangrando entre palabras prendidas a fuego, en esta lucha hasta las cenizas que solo los dos entendemos. Aunque sea mi amor, es bien nuestro este dolor. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. Necesito una gota más de eso que me das. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. No nos vamos a curar, fuego hasta el final. Amor crónico, mi amor crónico. Aunque me lleve el delirio, este martirio es lo que soy. Y si me voy, que sea queriéndote, que sea queriéndote. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. Necesito una gota más de eso que me das. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. No nos vamos a curar, fuego hasta el final. Amor crónico, mi amor crónico. That's Chronic Love, a love song, but about those stormy types of love that seem to feed in conflict. And yeah, I think love takes all kinds of expressions, shapes, and it doesn't mean it's not love, but it's just like we do what we can. Sometimes we love the best way we can, and sometimes it looks a little bit like a chronic condition.
Well, thank you so much, Onna Lou. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure too, Tracy. And I hope we can meet in person.
Mm-hmm. Soon, very soon.
Right.
Well, we live so close together.
Yes, we should go for a walk.
Yes, yes.
This summer.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me here. It is very important for artists to get to show what we do, our work. So I really appreciate your invitation.
Oh,